Your dog has watched you in pajamas and in a wedding suit. They have sat with you through grief, through arguments, through evenings when everything went wrong. They have never once looked confused about who you were. But here is a question most dog owners have never stopped to ask. What, exactly, does your dog think you are? Not who you are. What? Because what the research shows about how dogs actually categorize humans is unexpected, and it changes something about what you thought the relationship was. Start with the most basic version of this question. When your dog sees you walk through the door, what are they actually recognizing? The answer most people give is the face, that they recognize your eyes, your expression, the shape of you. And that is partly true. Research into dog cognition, including work from the Family Dog Project at Budapest's Eötvös Loránd University, has confirmed that dogs can distinguish human faces. They have a region of the temporal cortex that activates in response to faces, including human faces. But the face is not the primary anchor. Your smell is. Dogs possess approximately 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to 6 million in humans. Their nose is not a secondary sense. It is the dominant sense. When your dog recognizes you, what is happening first and most reliably is olfactory recognition. Your specific chemical signature, a combination of your skin chemistry, diet, bacteria, and individual biology, is recorded by your dog before any visual confirmation arrives. The smell of you is the version of you that your dog carries. The face is the supplement. They also know your voice, the cadence of your breathing, the specific pattern of footsteps that means you specifically. Not the shape of a person arriving, but the weight distribution and rhythm of your particular gait. So your dog recognizes you with extraordinary precision. But this leads to the stranger question. What category do they place you in? Not in the category of human being. Not in any category that has an equivalent for this is a member of the species Homo sapiens. The evidence suggests they have not built that category. Here is the research that makes this concrete. Dogs raised with humans show a striking ability that even wolves raised by humans from birth do not develop. They follow pointing gestures. They track human gaze direction. They use human communicative signals to solve problems. Brian Hare's research, including work from Duke University's Canine Cognition Center, demonstrated that this is not learned through training. Dogs from puppyhood, without specific instruction, orient toward where a human points. Wolves with equal human exposure do not. This seems like it would mean dogs deeply understand humans. But the interpretation the data supports is different. What dogs evolved was not an understanding of humans as a species. What they evolved was attunement to a specific set of communicative signals that humans produce. The pointing, the gaze direction, the tone of voice, the behavioral patterns that humans use when they are bonded with a dog. The category they have built is not human. The category is closer to social partner who communicates this way. Here is what dogs do not have: a concept of themselves as dogs, in any sense that maps to how we use that word. Dogs fail the visual mirror self-recognition test. When placed in front of a mirror, they do not recognize their own reflection as themselves. They treat it as they would a stranger dog, or ignore it entirely. The visual category, "this is me," does not function for them. But Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College conducted a smell-based version of the test. When dogs were exposed to their own scent with minor alterations, they spent significantly more time investigating it than their unaltered scent, behaving as though something was different about themselves. The self-recognition system exists. It runs on smell, not vision. What this means is that your dog does not have a visual model of themselves as an entity. And by extension, they do not have a visual model of you as a human in the way that you might imagine. They do not register that you are dramatically larger than them, not as a fact that shapes the relationship. They do not register that you lack fur, or that you move on two legs, or that you are members of different species. None of that is the organizing information. The organizing information is familiar, bonded, safe, communicates in the way I understand, or its absence. What your dog has instead is a form of knowing that may be more precise than the species-level category you imagined. Every time you walk through the door, your dog is reading a multi-channel signal. Your specific chemical signature, the sound of your breathing and footsteps, the behavioral patterns that mark you as you. This is not a simplified version of recognition. It is recognition built on continuous, real-time data. A researcher who has studied canine olfaction described it this way. Humans walk into a room and see a photograph. Dogs walk in and read the room's history. The bond they have formed is not with a member of a species. It is with a specific individual, assembled through thousands of hours of sensory data, behavioral pattern recognition, and whatever emotional processing their limbic system produces. You are not, to your dog, an example of a category. You are you, precisely, specifically, irreplaceably. Which makes the relationship, if anything, more interesting than you thought it was, not less. Every video on this channel starts from a question most dog owners have never thought to ask, and then follows the science wherever it leads. Not the simplified version, the actual answer. Hit like if this landed, drop a comment if this changed how you think about your dog, and subscribe so you do not miss what we look at next. We are just getting started.